Some exciting games throughout week number 4, hoping for one here tonight between the Rams and the 49ers. Time now for our game notes presented by Bear as we send it down to Lisa Salters.
Hey, Joe, well, no one has more sacks than Aaron Donald since he entered the league in 2014, and that's despite being a defensive tackle who is double, triple, and sometimes he says even quadruple teamed. Donald has terrorized opposing quarterbacks for the last 8 years, and now in his 9th season, he got his 100th career sack last week on Kyler Murray. It was a historic moment that almost didn't happen because Donald almost walked away from the game this offseason. He says he had already written his retirement letter to the Rams and was at peace with his decision to move on. He says his career plan all along was to play 8 seasons and then to retire. His family knew it, his friends knew it, some players and coaches knew it too. So he played the 2021 season fully believing that it would be his last. But then something happened. Donald became a world champion. After the Super Bowl, he eventually called head coach Sean McVay and told him he was having second thoughts because he'd gotten hooked on the confetti.
It's like the best high in the world, you know, so I tell people all the time, if I probably wouldn't have won a Super Bowl, I probably wouldn't be here now. So getting experience that and get addicted to that, you know, it's like, let's go run it back, man, and find a way to relive that all over again. So it was just like one heck of an experience that I just want to relive again.
And about his milestone 100th sack last week, Donald says he didn't even know he was close to it until he was told after the game. He said you grind to try to do great things on the field, and when you accomplish them and become a part of history, well, that's just a blessing. Joe?
Lisa, thank you. A game wrecker who is hooked on confetti. That is bad news for the rest of the NFC. You've been watching the Progressive Monday Night Kickoff. Rams, Niners, coming up next.
Presentation of the National Football League.
Let's keep it real. A lot of people say they don't like LA. I love it. San Francisco, not so much. But get this, Rams have more to prove than the 49ers.
The Los Angeles Rams are world champions.
You heard it right. I know they won the Super Bowl. Think I've been living under a rock? I was there, fool. But the Niners have more titles, more history, and more moments.
The 49ers won 3 Super Bowl victories in 1980.
And this year, both teams are loaded, Holmes.
It's showtime! Ain't no better day! It's all about us! Now let's go get what they came for, baby!
No matter who got them here, they both want to hold California's heart. They each want to say this state, this Golden State, is ours.
I ran the football for 60 minutes! Hit him in the mouth on the jump!
You want to keep it real? This one's going to be epic. Rams, 49ers on Monday Night Football. Rack 'em!
Good one for you tonight as week 4 comes to a close. The Rams and 49ers. These two know each other very well. The head coaches know each other very well. Saw that visit during Monday Night Countdown with Adam Schefter, with Sean McVay sitting down with Kyle Shanahan, once on the same staff with Washington. It's been talked about over and over, but they have similar mindset. They're looking for any weakness they can find. And I heard the two described as frenemies, which is probably the right term for what they are for one another. A lot of respect, not a lot of love between these two teams. And it was the 49ers getting past the Rams in Week 18 to stamp their ticket into the postseason last year. They got them all the way to the champ game back in Los Angeles. They lost that game. Rams won that on their way to the Lombardi Trophy in their home stadium. So off we go. It's a new year. Everybody turns the page. 49ers won the toss. They defer and the Rams receive. Out to the 25. Matthew Stafford, with all the conversation and speculation about the elbow during the offseason, during camp, told us the elbow is feeling better and better week by week. And he is 12th all time in pass yards and pass touchdowns. And after 12 years with the Detroit Lions, it took 1 year with the Rams to get a ring.
Pretty incredible the year that he was able to have. That's why they went out and made that trade with the Detroit Lions. And for him and this team to deliver in the first year with a Super Bowl championship, pretty impressive.
Skoranek at fullback, and the handoff is to Cam Akers. And Akers gets popped by linebacker Fred Warner, who is in the middle of everything for the 49ers and one of the best in the game, a gain of 4. A great front seven. Secondary has been improved from last season with the addition of Charvarius Ward, the former Kansas City Chief. Quick snap. On the outside, pass is caught. Just perfect between Stafford and Kupp. First down.
Well, they get Kupp lined up to the outside, and then he's one-on-one on Charvarius Ward with a soft cushion. And, you know, Matthew Stafford and Kupp, they can make that throw and completion in their sleep.
They probably do, with as many times as Stafford's looked for Kupp.
As much as we hear they're together, yeah, they probably do.
On first down, handoff here. That's Akers, and Akers nothing. Akers and Stafford playing behind a shuffled and reshuffled and then shuffled again offensive line, and here's where they are. That's how they started week 1, and here's how they are now with Coleman Shelton in its center and Bobby Evans getting the start at left guard. Pass over the middle is caught. That's the tight end Higbee, and he's about a yard and a half short of a first down as Drake Greenlaw made the stop for San Francisco.
Well, one of the benefits that this 49ers defense has is because they're so dominant up front with a 4-man pass rush. They don't blitz much. Why would they? They don't have to. They're able to get home, and so it affords them the opportunity to play a little more coverage in key situations than they otherwise might have to.
Third and short, pass is caught. What a great grab by Kupp. Just off the top of the grass and a first down, a gain of 10.
Such a great job. You talk about the route running by Cooper Kupp, and they're pressed up. It's third and short, so you're not going to give any receivers a free release off the ball. And yet he's able to push and lean on the defender in order to create that separation. And then, like so many times, when you watch him, he finishes it with an excellent catch. And now they move Skoranek back to the backfield.
Stafford under pressure. Somehow gets out of that and turns it into a positive play. Got away from at least 3 49ers and picked up 4.
Well, Emmanuel Mosley, he's in coverage on Cam Akers. And so you're going to see him, who he comes up, once he sees that Cam Akers, number 3, hangs in and protects. So now he gets involved in it. And Matthew Stafford, you don't see a lot of it, but he's certainly capable.
Sidearm throw complete. That's Kupp. That's another first down for the Rams. 10 yards again for Cooper Kupp, who still plays like he's the guy from Eastern Washington who's trying to prove he belongs in the NFL, and he's done that and more. He's as good a weapon as there is in the league.
Well, he's going to get his targets. We know that. I mean, last week he got 6, and that was a light day for him. He's typically in double digits. And the 49ers, just go back to the 3 games they faced him last year. They did not have an answer for Cooper Kupp in any one of those 3 games.
Stafford rolls out, finds Higbee, and the tight end is brought down. Good tackle. Ball comes out. They're saying he was down. Tackle by Drake Greenlaw. It'll be second down.
The runner was down by contact. Second down.
Just think the Rams, much like the 49ers, when they have the ball on offense, you mentioned the 2 head coaches and their connection over the years in Washington. They basically have learned this system together. It looks a little different between the 2 teams because of personnel. but they put a lot of stress on a defense. When you say that, you typically think vertically, but they do it just as much horizontally as well. They make defenses cover the entire field.
Stafford has started 5 for 5. He hands here. Akers bottled up. Emmanuel Mosley came up to make the stop. 3rd down coming up.
Well, we talked about Ben Skoranek and how they've used him as a fullback. And here he is, and he gets a little high. So he comes up on Hufanga and gets a little high on him. The winner goes to the lowest pad level, but not many guys would want to take on that role like he has.
Here's Higbee. Nice move after the catch as he fought through the tackle, and a 1st down. Lenore could not bring him down, and Tyler Higbee too much, too big of a load. At 6'6", 255, 1st down again.
Yeah, Tyler Higbee, he's gotten involved here early in this game, and he, typically when they have their full arsenal, we've got Van Jefferson who's not here. Of course, there's a lot of discussion as to whether or not Odell Beckham Jr. will ultimately join them. But Tyler Higbee becomes a component of this offense that they really have to rely on right now.
False start.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. No 1st down.
Son Joe Noteboom, who replaces the retired Andrew Whitworth. The 2 tackles are the guys that started the season, Noteboom and Havenstein, but it's all that change on the interior of the offensive line. 1st and 15.
There's Ben Powell, number 19. He's another one of those chess pieces that's getting some playing time because of them being shorthanded at the skill position.
Henderson makes the grab. Greenlaw makes the tackle. And Henderson gets 6. Henderson had a big week too. 32 touches, 137 yards, and a rushing touchdown against Atlanta. But only 4 touches last week at Arizona in a 20-12 win.
I've always liked him too. He's splitting out wide up at the top of the screen, but I like the energy that he brings, and he's a physical player for no bigger than he is.
It's 5'8", 208. They fake it to him, and Stafford is sacked back near the 30. Ebukam, the former Ram, got him. And a loss on the play of 10.
Well, Ebukam, he just takes it because they've got Skoranek who's out there, and he's going to try to block him. He's going to try to block down. He's not able to get in front of him. And there's Ebukam, who's really, he's got tremendous speed off the edge. And Matthew Stafford just had no chance whatsoever. Even as a quarterback, when you come off that fake and you roll to your right, you can get rid of it much easier going to your right, but he had no opportunity to unload it.
Brings up 3rd down and 19. Henderson gets it, cuts back near the 21. That brings up 4th down as Dre Greenlaw, who was active as he usually is and just got a contract extension, was there for the 49ers defense. They bend, they don't break, and they give up the field goal try.
Yeah, and that's the key, really. These offenses, especially the Rams, you expect them to be able to move the football. Now we've got another lineman for the Rams. They can ill afford to lose another. You talked about how they're already down a couple offensive guys that started the season. Coleman Shelton, who made the switch to center, he's getting some help off the field.
The try by Matt Gay is good from 39, and a drive to start the night. It took over 8 minutes, gets 3, and the Rams strike first. For the 49ers up in a luxury suite watching this one. There are injuries in the building for the 49ers. All-Pro left tackle Trent Williams suffered a high ankle last week. Starting running back Elijah Mitchell went down week 1. Of course, quarterback Trey Lance out for the season after that ankle surgery. Will the 49ers solve the injury riddle this season? That remains to be seen. And Martin Short, who is one of, well, at least one of my favorites. I'm not going to speak for you. Watching this game, I have it on good authority.
One of my favorites, too.
With his son Oliver.
Don't leave me out.
Yeah, okay. You're not. You're in. You're in. You can add, by the way, Javon Kinlaw to that list. He is not active as his knee is acting up. Don't know if Steve Martin's watching this or Selena Gomez.
Fan of hers too.
Yeah,
fan of his, fan of hers,
fan of everybody. Indiana football. You back? Are you good with them? You back?
Well, that's another discussion. Got a little blowback this week. Love the Hoosiers.
It's just life in the big time. That's you.
Yeah. So controversial.
So controversial. So with a pair of shorts watching us, Oliver and his dad, Martin. Here we go. Rams kicking it off to the 49ers. And this one will come out to the 25. Well, he sent out his thank you notes and he said his goodbyes. And he thanked the faithful, and he's back. And it's a good thing the way it turned out, that they have
no question
a legit backup and somebody who's taken them to the NFC Championship game. He did that last year, Super Bowl a couple of years before, and you see the numbers for the Niners when he's been a quarterback. Simply put, they just win.
I think in the short term, and I don't know what short term means. Does that mean a month, a season? But they're better off with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback in the short term because of his experience in the games that he's won, big games.
Ayuk, nice throw, nice catch, and just like that, a first down. Out to the 40. Perfectly placed by Jimmy G.
Really nice. And Ayuk, you think back to last year, struggled a little bit early in the season, and as the year got going, he really finished up strong and through the playoffs. And watching him this year, he's picked right up where he left off last season. I just think he's a terrific player, and can do so much. And Jimmy Garoppolo, those are the kind of starts you want after last week.
Here's Debo. Debo Samuel gets one. He was all-pro last year. He had over 1,700 scrimmage yards, 14 touchdowns, and you got to find him. We have to find him, and the defense has to find him.
I'm just impressed, one, with all that he's able to do. Clearly a really smart player to be able to take all that on, but there's not many wide receivers, even with his kind of size, that would be willing or be as effective as he's been in that wide back role that he labeled himself.
Boy, Garoppolo just able to get rid of it before Aaron Donald was right there into his chest. 3rd down and 9.
Well, he talks about how sometimes he even gets 4 guys on him. Here he is, and nobody touches him. I mean, they don't get one hand on him, let alone, 3 sets. But clearly a total blown assignment up front. He got through there so clean that Jimmy knew he was headed straight for him and was able to get the ball out.
Garoppolo protected, finds Juwan Jennings for a first down. Nice throw. And Jennings in traffic with a grab, and he got 10.
That's a well-designed. Juwan Jennings, you're going to get Debo clearing out, and then Juwan Jennings is going to come underneath that. So the attraction that Debo Samuel gets allows him to come underneath that and get the football. And just a nice job by Jimmy Garoppolo here in the early going, just taking completions and not trying to force anything down the field.
Kittle in motion and a toss, and this one loses yardage too. Aaron Donald made that play, as Wilson never could get started, a loss of a couple.
Well, they're trying to double team him because, as we know, he's the focal point of this game plan, and you see the quickness of him coming off the ball. You got 2 guys who are working to him, and he gets right underneath it, and that's the quickness that he has, that he's able to make some plays even when he doesn't do conventional moves off the ball. He is a load, and I'm glad that he came back. We heard Lisa talk about it, and I agree with him. When you've won a Super Bowl, it's such a great feeling. You want to get back and experience it all again.
2nd down, Samuel makes the catch. And after a little fake, goes forward and gets 7. That, by the way, on the previous play, Spencer Burford, who is a rookie right guard, And I think we've said it many times. If you're an offensive lineman and you look up and you see 99 across from you where they can play really anywhere along the defensive front, that lets you know that the Rams think you're the weak link on the offensive line.
And then take it a step further when you're a rookie and you've got the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year lined up against you. I mean,
Garoppolo, another first down, another catch by Jennings on 3rd down. And now a nice drive being put together by the 49ers.
Yeah, just methodically. Yeah, I haven't gotten a lot out of the running game, but they've been able to hit these quick passes and pick up decent yards, move the chains, stay ahead. So now they answer what the Rams were able to do. The Rams put together a 13-play drive, and now here we've got the 49ers on a 7-play drive of their own.
Play clock at 1. And Kyle Shanahan, not Jimmy Garoppolo, recognizing the play clock was about to expire, so he called timeout. First down, San Francisco when we come back as they trail by 3. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Experian Boost. Now paying rent could raise your credit score instantly. And that's John McVay, or a likeness of John McVay. Joined the 49ers in 1979. Spent 21 seasons with the franchise, had several different positions, including GM. Brought in by Bill Walsh at the start of that great run, that dynasty in the 80s. And that is Sean McVay's grandpa, and 24th inductee into the Niners Hall of Fame. On first down, here is a toss right up the gut. Wilson, goodbye, touchdown 49ers.
We're going to see Charlie Warner right here in the job that he does in clearing out gains in the middle, number 91 right there, and then the lane that is afforded Wilson to just hit it. The defense for the Rams, they over pursue. That crack block by Warner opens up the lane. A nice job running the football.
I think you want to pick your spots against the Rams. Aaron Donald was not in the game on that play. Toss to Wilson, cut up field, into the end zone, untouched. Nice answer by San Francisco as they lead 7-3. To the Rams put up 3. They get 7, the 49ers do. Lead by 4 with 2:46 left. Go back to the 2011 Washington football team led by head coach Mike Shanahan. Had 4 assistant coaches that are now NFL head coaches. Sean McVay, his son Kyle, Matt LaFleur, and Mike McDaniel. I mean, what a group. All young guys and all just blossomed at the biggest level.
Yeah, and a great young group of coaches who learned from one of the great ones himself in Mike Shanahan. I mean, what an opportunity for all of those guys, and then they've continued to learn and all that, and they've expanded the offense, but it's been amazing.
Let's check in with Lisa Salters.
Hey, Joe, well, Coleman Shelton, who had started at center tonight for Brian Allen, he had been back in the Rams locker room being evaluated for an ankle injury, but he just came running back out onto the field, and it looks like he is good to go.
Yeah, for a while there, Lisa, it looked like Jeremiah Coloni, who was just up from the practice squad, might get a chance to go in at center. There's Jeremiah, but instead it's Shelton good to go. Drive starts at the 25. Handoff is to Akers, and Omenahu makes the stop after a gain of just 1.
I think the Rams come into this game similar in mindset to the 49ers in that they know that they just cannot allow this defensive front to tee off on Matthew Stafford. So they're going to try to maintain a little more balance in this game.
Fred Warner got there late, but forced the throw, and incomplete, looking for Akers. was Matthew Stafford, and that's the first incompletion here for the Rams QB.
Well, we don't see a lot, as I said, from San Francisco. D'Amico Ryans, the defensive coordinator, doesn't dial up the blitz much, but they brought Fred Warner right up the gut. And that's what caused Stafford to get it out and be incomplete.
3rd down and 9. Bosa, the sack. And D'Amico's got his defense buzzing here at the start of 2022.
Pretty good game up front. Now they bring Fred Warner once again, but they run a game here, and then Bosa comes all the way around. And so they pick off his guy. Noteboom's not able to slide over. They don't communicate it effectively along that left side of the offensive line. And here comes Bosa. And you don't like to see that if you're Matthew Stafford.
5th sack of the year for Nick. Line drive punt. McLeod will stay away, and this ball will take a Rams bounce and settle at the 26. 56-yard punt. Back comes Jimmy G, and the 49ers up 7-3. Garoppolo, who likely will be wearing another uniform next year.
Faithful, thank you very much for everything. It's been crazy, man. It's been a hell of a ride, guys. I love you guys. So, see ya.
And then March, shoulder surgery, and then one of the weirder off seasons for any quarterback as he hung around. He was not involved in OTAs. He worked during training camp on a side field, really by himself. Wasn't involved in the preseason, so he's just trying to get his legs under him and his arm in game shape. Looked good the first time the 49ers had it. Keeps it here and throws it to a wide open Samuel. 1st down plus.
Well, right now, Jimmy Garoppolo is just in a real rhythm. This is a quarterback-friendly offense that Kyle Shanahan implores. And you're going to see that he's got Deebo Samuel then going across the lane, the window right there for him to put it in. This offensive line, we've talked about the shuffles that they've made. And they've got Daniel Brunskill, who's now in the lineup. And we expected to see him some tonight. He started every game last year. But Kyle Shanahan understands they're a little light at guard having to play against Aaron Donald.
Toss to Samuel, running left, cuts up field, and that nets 1. Garoppolo has started this game 5 for 6. And we're under a minute. The clock running, 30 seconds and counting left in quarter number 1. That's gone by in a blink.
Let's see if they're going to try to get off another play. Right now, it just looks like they're pretty content letting this clock wind down.
And they can. There's about a 1-second differential.
Well, maybe not.
2nd down and 9. And that ends the quarter. 2nd down and 9. When we come back, quarter number 2 is coming up from Santa Clara. This good matchup, Rams and Niners. Francisco, and the picture will be beautiful. We are in Santa Clara, sitting just over 50 miles south and east of San Francisco, home to the 49ers in its 9th year down here. And these fans have had fun so far. They saw a good opening drive by the Rams. It netted 3, and the 49ers answered with a touchdown drive. And now have it 2nd and 9. Quick throw. Ayuk gets blocking and a 1st down.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo has just 1 incompletion in tonight's game, and it's when they turned Aaron Donald loose in the middle and he had to throw it away. Now, some of those type passes, the quick game, and we talked about it coming in and the importance of being able to run the football. But if you're not running the ball, they've leaned a little bit more in that first quarter on throwing the football, but get it out of your hands quickly, and that's what Jimmy Garoppolo has been able to do. Kyle Shanahan understands it's a big task for this offensive line, young in so many areas, to hold up against this Rams defensive front.
Here is a toss to Wilson coming off that 32-yard touchdown run, longest touchdown run of his career. Leonard Floyd makes that tackle, a gain of 2, so 2nd and 8.
Yeah, you said it. We saw that aerial shot there of San Francisco. You mentioned it coming in, and you can't imagine a better day than what we're having here tonight. I mean, this, for someone who came in from Texas where it's just now starting to get below 90 degrees, this is fantastic.
Nice little shot of life.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Everything feels good.
2nd down and 8. Wilson. 3rd down coming up. Justin Hollins makes the stop.
Well, here we are on 3rd down, and the 49ers 2 for 2 in this game, which is far better than where they were last week in that loss to Denver. They were 1 for 10 and started out the game 0 for 9.
Daniel Brunskill has come in at right guard for this series for the rookie Spencer Burford.
We thought we'd see him, but he may finish this game. I mean, we'll see, because he's a veteran guy and he gives them a lot more.
Jennings makes the attempt but cannot make the catch. Incomplete to bring up 4th down. Nice hit, and right there was Grant Haley, who's getting a shot to play the slot. And that ball was out before Haley even got there.
Yeah, Haley, unless he just misses the tackle, that was not going to be enough for the 1st down. But it would have left Kyle Shanahan with a decision to make. They're around the 40-yard line, of whether or not he wanted to go for it on 4th down.
Wisnowski. End over end punt. Powell stays away, and this ball hit one of the 49ers and then bounced into the end zone. And they're calling a touchback. That was George Odom downfield. And so Stafford, who was limping a bit earlier last time he came off, back to work. Down 7-3.
To Santa Clara, well, after that last Rams 3-and-out, and after center Coleman Shelton had just been back in the locker room being evaluated for an ankle injury, he came limping off the field again, that right ankle appearing to really be bothering him. Shelton is now back in the locker room again, and he has been ruled out, Joe, for the rest of this game.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. So now Coloni takes over at center. Rams would play action to start. Stafford just able to get rid of it. Nick Bosa was about a step late. It's 2nd down and 10.
Well, and that's significant when you start losing the center. The center typically makes a lot of the calls at the line of scrimmage, but not to mention the impact that it has on the quarterback. Now, Shelton had some starts a year ago, a couple games, so there was some familiarity there with Matthew Stafford. He is in shotgun more than he's underneath the center. But to put someone else in there, that can be disruptive, not just for the quarterback, but the communication along that offensive line.
Blitz coming and a handoff to Henderson, and that gets maybe 1 as Fred Warner made the stop. And Hufanga was coming on the blitz.
Yeah, and a lot of times they had the right call because Hufanga was coming from the side over here. They're running the ball this way. So a lot of times you can hit one big when you catch a team in a blitz like that, if you get a past that initial line of defense.
3rd down and 9. Stafford, good protection, out to his right. Looking for help, and he won't get it. Along the sideline, it was Allen Robinson the target, and Charvarius Ward was there step for step.
Diamador Lenore does an outstanding job on Kupp. He's got him one-on-one. There's no help. And he's underneath the route, and that's where Stafford wanted to go with the football. He was looking for Kupp the entire way, and Lenore, who's kind of found a home in that nickel position. He was an outside corner a year ago, but he's been good last week and so far in this one.
So the Rams, a 14-play drive the first time they had it, settled for a field goal, and then back-to-back 3-and-outs. 58-yard punt here. 49ers back to work on offense, leading 7-3. decimated parts of Florida last week, and residents now face the daunting task of rebuilding as they begin to return to their communities. Help support those affected by Hurricane Ian and visit www.redcross.org/NFL. As we welcome you back as the 49ers have the football with the ball sitting at their own 22. Leading 7-3. Good protection. Garoppolo floats it. And off the hands of tight end Charlie Warner.
Oh, man, that's one that Jimmy Garoppolo definitely wants back. They go with a 2 tight end package. The protection up front is excellent, as it has been throughout the night. But Charlie Warner runs an excellent route. He's expecting that ball to the inside, and if he hits him, I mean, he's got an opportunity. He's one-on-one on Terrell Lewis. Anything could have happened. You think back to last week's game, Jimmy missed a couple blown coverages by Denver, but then he hit Deebo Samuel when he was wide open. It was an underthrown ball. It looked a lot like some of those throws we saw last week.
Donald not out there, and this ball is knocked into the air by Ramsey. He was in there with Leonard Floyd, and Ramsey got up and got a hand on it. 3rd down and 10.
They had a little something, too. If Ramsey working that star position and he's able to get a hand on the ball, because if he doesn't, there were blockers out in front. And Ray McLeod, no telling what he might have been able to do with the ball. A couple now missed opportunities on back-to-back plays.
Third down and 10. Garoppolo fires too high for Jawan Jennings, and he had Jennings open and missed him.
Yeah, and the Rams bring a blitz, so there's a 5-man rush, and the 49ers pick it up beautifully. So he had time in the pocket, and if he's just able to keep this one down, there was room to run there for Jawan Jennings.
Three and out with 3 straight incompletions from Garoppolo. The punt by Wisnowski. Fair catch, hauled in by Brandon Powell, and just a 42-yard punt. We are back in 30 seconds after a word from T-Mobile.
Wherever we come from, we all have one thing in common. We all want the incredible new iPhone 14 Pro. Now at T-Mobile. T-Mobile gives you Apple TV Plus included. So watch your favorite Apple originals on the most advanced smartphone display ever. Get iPhone 14 Pro on us with Apple TV Plus included. Now at T-Mobile.
So now with this reshuffled offensive line, Rams start with the ball at their 35, down 7-3. Coloni in at center. Stafford rolls out to his left, hits Higbee, who gets hit immediately by Mosley, but a nice play on first down, a gain of 7.
Well, you look at this game and the 49ers and what they've done. They, coming into this game, not a big blitzing team. They blitz the 3rd least in the NFL, but tonight on drop back passes, they blitzed them on 6 of 12. Tonight, D'Amico Ryans has changed it up. They've had success doing it, and they've been able to get after Matthew Stafford.
Stafford ends up on top of the football, goes forward to bring up 3rd down as he gets just 2.
A long way to go. There's no one over the center, but that's about the longest I've ever seen someone trying to run the quarterback sneak to pick up.
Yeah.
Especially the guy who came off the field last series with a bum ankle.
Brings up 3rd down and 1. And movement with Givens. And this is going to give the Rams a first down by penalty.
Encroachment, number 90, defense. 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
And he's right over the ball.
Sometimes those are the ones you get because you can use voice inflection, although it looked like he was just going off of the center dropping his head because I didn't see Stafford bark out any cadence. So, yeah, not good.
That's the first San Francisco penalty of the game.
I always see at practice those defensive line coaches with a football tied to a pole. You know, I mean, that comes in handy.
Here's Akers. Over the right side, a nice gain on first down. Pickup of 6.
Akers had that fumble last week and had a big one in last year's playoff, but Sean McVay was a little critical after the Week 1 game against Buffalo on how he was running the football, but very happy with how he's done. Obviously wants him to protect the ball, but as far as seeing the hole and hitting it, been much better.
Second down and 4. Stafford trying to set up a screen. Instead, he comes out to Higbee. His 5th catch and a first down. Looked like they were trying to set something up to Akers, but he comes out to the tight end and picks up 7.
Well, I think this is the first snap tonight of anything other than 3 wide receivers. So they go 2 tight end, and then they're able to run the screen play, take advantage of that pass rush by the 49ers, get the ball into the hands of Higbee, and picks up a nice gain. Rams, of course, over the years with McVay, run more 3 wide receiver than any other team in the league. This year at 97%, and before that snap, that's all they had run in this game was 3 wide receiver.
Stafford keeps, throws, Kupp on the sideline, got it. Both feet down and out of bounds with 18 yards.
This is so good by Cooper Kupp, and the acceleration right there, that's where you get him beat. You've got Mosley there at corner, but as soon as you threaten down the field vertically, the hips turn, and you win every time. And that's when you know you're a good wide receiver. When you can beat leverage with your ability to run a route, you're doing some really good things. And, of course, Kupp's been doing some really good things for a long time.
And then do a toe drag like you're getting out of bed in the morning. Handoff to Powell. And a nice play drawn up by Sean McVay. Brandon Powell, his 3rd rushing play of the season. This one gets 11.
Yeah, Brandon Powell, I called him Ben earlier. My apologies to him and his family. But pretty good design there. Not a real big guy, not overly fast. He's got great quickness. And I asked Sean about him. He hadn't played a whole lot over the last few games, but wanted to get him more involved. And again, he's like Skoranek, just a guy you can do a lot of different things with.
First and goal just inside the 10. Kupp, one-on-one tackle made by Mosley. Good play.
Really good play. Not easy to do. Be able to tackle Cooper Kupp in the open field. He's trying to spin out of this back to the sidelines. Good move by Kupp. But you mentioned it on that opening drive by the Rams. Yeah, they moved it, but then they had to settle for 3. So here they are once again. And, you know, this is ultimately, when you look back on these games, who won, who lost, a lot of that is obviously decided down here in the red zone.
Play clock is at 4. No problem. Stafford, good protection over the middle and incomplete for Skoranek. Dangerous throw over the middle and a little too far for Skoranek.
Well, Cooper Kupp is going to draw attention. They're going to play inside out on him, but then he breaks out and they're waiting on him to break in. They're going to drop him. So a good read by Stafford, just not able to connect then and make the catch.
Now 3rd and goal. Pass is incomplete with Kupp the target. And it brings up 4th down, so stalling again inside the 20 of the Rams.
You don't see this a lot. Kupp is actually, he's singled up. Fred Warner is on him, and Stafford knew it. So he's immediately understanding the route, he's going to push it to the end zone and fully expected to have a touchdown on that throw.
Matt Gay hit from 39, this one from 29. It's a 1-point game, and the former 5th-round pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has made 38 straight from 45 yards and in. 7-6 first half in Santa Clara.
Views made from the stuff of dreams, but behind the scenery, it's serious business, innovation, industry, and full investment from the San Francisco fans in a franchise that brought glory to the Bay and will again. Woo!
That is Tyler McNiven, the owner of Buck's Restaurant of Woodside. No relation. Buck's, a Silicon Valley staple where historic deals took place for Tesla, PayPal, eBay, Hotmail, and more, and still a popular meeting place for entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, as well as former Niners players. Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott is a regular at Buck's Restaurant of Woodside.
Great Ronnie Lott. I wonder if he's in the building tonight.
Well, Jerry Rice is in the building tonight. Did not see Ronnie. Well, off to the cartoon world we go. It's been a road of sharp turns for Kyle Shanahan's 49ers. He went 10-22 in his first 2 seasons, but able to right the trolley, earning a trip to Super Bowl 54. 6-10 season followed before returning to the NFC title game last season. Will there be more turns in their chase for the Lombardi trophy? And before Twitter goes crazy, we know that those trolley cars do not go down Lombard Street.
Yeah,
so just put your phone back. Just stop right now. I can't believe they had a trolley on Lombard Street. Here's Ayuk, who's able to stay upright and fight his way for 4 as the rookie Darian Kendrick made the stop.
Well, came into this game talking about how I felt that the 49ers would have to run the ball a minimum of 30 times in this game to give themselves a chance, and they're going to have to pick it up if that's going to be the case. They've only run it 6 times so far, and other than the big touchdown run by Jeff Wilson, they haven't had much success. Instead, they've elected to get the ball out quickly in the passing game with Jimmy Garoppolo, and that last series not so good, but otherwise been pretty effective.
Here's Wilson, has the only touchdown of the night. 3rd down and short coming up.
You know, and so these 3rd downs, mentioned it. You know, they had hit their first 2, and now they've not converted their last 2. They're 2 for 4 here in the first half, but that's how you're able to accumulate those rushing attempts, is keeping possession of the ball, continue to pound them. When you do get to 3rd down, convert. Defense, of course, keeping the score down. That has been the way that the 49ers have won when they beat this team.
Garoppolo's going to take off and dive for the first down.
Really good job by Jimmy Garoppolo, just seeing what was out in front of him and knowing what he had to do. You see all the bodies, you know, over there on Aaron Donald, and Jimmy picks it up. But Raheem Morris, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, I think he does a good job. Obviously, Aaron Donald attracts a lot of attention, but he does some things within the scheme in order to give Aaron Donald opportunity to have less people focused on him.
Here's a toss to Wilson. Nice run on first down. So far for George Kittle, the 3-time Pro Bowl tight end, he has no targets. And a guy who Jimmy G has targeted more in their time together here with the 49ers since 2017, but number 10 has not looked his way once.
Yeah, a little surprising just because of the connection that they have, but I'd have to believe that that's going to be changing here real soon. Of course, you know, coming off the injury that he had and back in the lineup last week, he's probably a little bit like Jimmy himself. He's shaking off some of the rust.
Groin injury cost him the first 2 games. Here's a nice play made by Aaron Donald. No surprise as he brings down Wilson with just a gain of 1.
And what we probably haven't
talked enough about so far is the fact that they are without Elijah Mitchell, who went down just 6 carries in week 1. And what a terrific running back he is. And so there is a part of Kyle Shanahan. They brought up Tevin Coleman, a guy who's got a history with the 49ers and with Kyle Shanahan going back to Atlanta. But Kyle, a little unsure just whether or not he really has the horses at the running back to play the style of football that he'd really like to be able to play right now.
3rd down and 3. Quick throw. What a catch. Samuel stays upright. Terrific catch and run. One-on-one with Ramsey. Can't bring him down. Samuel. Highlight reel. Touchdown. They needed 3 on 3rd down. They got 57 in one of the better catches and runs you'll ever see.
Really good. Sometimes you get fortunate, too, as a quarterback. Darion Kendrick, if he throws this on the money lower, it might be an interception. But instead, it's high. He can't get it. Now, that's a poor angle and tackle by Taylor Rapp. And then it continues. Here on the other end, there's a missed one right there by Jalen Ramsey. And so, what should have been, at worst, a catch and maybe a few more yards after this, right there with Rapp making the tackle, he gets more, and then Ramsey misses as well. So Deebo Samuel, not easy to get to the ground once he has the ball in his hands, but the rookie Kendrick went for it, and the 49ers made him pay, and there's our man Jerry Rice, the greatest to ever do it.
Loving every minute of it. Just get it in his hands and let him go, and he is so hard to bring to the ground. And he just proves it game after game.
I love everything about him. I love his toughness. I love his unselfishness, the things that he did last year and what he continues to do. And he's my favorite player in the league right now for all the reasons that I just stated. He's dynamic to watch, and he just ignited this 49er faithful.
Longest play of the season for San Francisco. 57 yards and the longest allowed by the Rams defense. Powell gets knocked down at the 21. I think when you go back and look at Deebo Samuel after that loss, 49ers had a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter on the road in the championship game at the Rams. They lost, and you see how emotional Deebo Samuel was. I just think this guy gave everything he had. Everything he had, and they came so close to Super Bowl 56.
You remember in that game, the punishment that he was taking and how much pain he was in throughout that game, and yet he wouldn't be denied. He just kept coming out and lining up and bringing it. He's fun to watch.
Here's a nice play, and after the tip, incomplete, no pick. As Kevin Gibbons got his hand on it, and Dre Greenlaw was inches away from the interception.
Well, you get a big turnover there after what just happened. This game can get away from you in a hurry. This is a big set of downs. I'm not saying they've got to go score, but they cannot go 3 and out.
Handoff to Henderson on 2nd and 10, and Darrell gets 5.
Yeah, right now with the play clock and you see what's left in this first half. Stafford, I would bet everything I have they're going to let this thing go down to the 2-minute warning. I may be walking home.
It's a big bet. That is a big bet. I read the New York Post. 3rd down and 5. Nah, you win. You won your bet. Holding your breath over there. Thinking he had to give it all up, all that hard work. Deebo Samuel reminding everybody just how great number 19 is. 57 yards, electrifying. 2-minute warning, 49ers up 8. Hey, coming up on the Allstate halftime, Chris Berman's fastest 3 minutes. Adam Schefter's insider update on Dak Prescott and Tua Tagovailoa. Coming up at the half with Susie Kolber, Booger McFarland, and Adam Schefter. Meanwhile, Cooper Rush, who we saw last Monday night in the Meadowlands, has won his first 4 starts in the NFL. 49ers have made 4 straight third down stops, 3rd and 5. Quick setup and throw, and a nice catch for the first down. That's Cooper Kupp.
Well, they had 2 guys, as you can imagine, on 3rd and medium that they're going to be playing 2 guys on Cooper Kupp, but just because of this chemistry that Stafford and he have, they're able to complete it anyway.
Pass is caught, and it's Kupp again. I mean, they're not getting much out of Allen Robinson yet.
No.
And it's been Cooper Kupp left, Cooper Kupp right.
Cooper Kupp has been targeted 10 times here in this first half. And Allen, it's been the Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee show. I mean, no one else has really done a whole lot. Someone else needs to step up.
Here's a sack for San Francisco. As Omenahu got home, and Fred Warner was there as well, a loss of 11. The protection with this offensive line breaks down.
Yeah, they run a game here, and then they bring Fred Warner. We've seen him now a few times, and when they have brought him, he's had success. I mean, just a jailbreak up front. This offensive line, they've gone through 2 left guards, 3 centers, and 4 right guards in 4 games.
Stafford is hit again, and down he goes. Lenore off the edge.
The Rams had the right idea. They brought Tyler Higbee to that side, and he's going to help pick it up, but he whiffs. And here comes Lenore, and that, like I talked about, his role as a nickelback now, and he's good coming off the edge with the blitz. I mean, he found a position, and they found a player, but just an outstanding job. And the story here in this first half defensively for the 49ers is the blitz that D'Amico Ryans has dialed up. They have not shown to be much of a blitzing team because they're so good with that defensive front 4. But today he has brought them, and it has paid a lot of dividends for him.
You know what that defense has done in the early part of the season? Just shut down work. Fan is on the field, so we'll have a bit of a stoppage, and now some of the Rams players get involved. And Bobby Wagner had enough. He just took the fan down.
Yeah, that fan's.
Meanwhile, let's talk about this offense for the Rams. Allen Robinson, they bring him in as a free agent. He was with the Bears the previous 4 years. They're looking for somebody to take the top off of the defense. They don't have it. They drafted Tutu Atwell, 2nd round from Louisville last year. They had Deshaun Jackson there last year. Eventually they get Odell Beckham, who was phenomenal, just tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. I think it would be a shock if he doesn't come back to this Rams team at some point. They loved him. They loved his leadership. But outside of Cooper Kupp and Higbee, as you said, nobody on the outside's doing anything for the Rams.
Yeah, you're on it, Joe. And Van Jefferson is the guy they really miss. He's the deep threat. But Allen Robinson can do some things as well. And I agree with you. They've got a locker for Odell Beckham Jr. They're just waiting for him to come occupy it.
Good punt by Riley Dixon. McLeod on the return out to the 31. 59-yard punt. Longest of the season for Dixon. The MLB playoffs start Friday with a best-of-3 wild-card round. And we'll have games on ESPN and ABC. The first of 4 Friday games start at 1 Eastern on ESPN. 2 o'clock game is on ABC. And the 4 and 8 are back on ESPN. So, fun time of year the opening round of the playoffs on ABC and ESPN.
Well, Joe, looking at this right now, 31 seconds. They need about 35, 36 yards roughly in there in order to have a 50-yard field goal attempt. They've got one timeout remaining.
Here's McLeod, and Ray is out to the 37, a gain of 7.
You know, here's where you got to get moving, and what Jimmy's done is he's making the receivers cross over, and that kills time when you do that.
2nd and 3. Quick throw to Samuel. Incomplete, with Kendrick, the rookie, there to make the stop. They love Darion Kendrick. And even though he's getting the start because of injuries in the secondary, there's some in the organization believe Kendrick will stay there as the starting corner once everybody comes back.
I don't know Darion Kendrick, but I'm betting that he's an extremely confident player just watching him, because going for the touch or going for the interception earlier, Deebo Samuel takes it to the house, and he drove on that one. He was waiting to jump it as well. So I would expect to see a double move on him.
3rd down now, backpedaling as he airs it out, and this is a 3 and out with now 2 seconds remaining in the half. And there's Kendrick again, this time on Ray McLeod.
Yeah, he hasn't been shy about doing a little barking after some of these plays.
Former wide receiver at Clemson, moved to corner, then moved it all to Georgia. Did not run a good 40, so he slid down to the 6th round. Was in the concussion protocol after the game in Arizona, cleared it. Led the team in tackles last week in the Rams win. And
when you're playing opposite of Jalen Ramsey, you can expect to get a lot of targets.
4th down and 3, they just throw it downfield, and that will end the half. So instead of the punt, they just kill the rest of the clock. And this half ends with the 49ers on top by 8, 14-6. Fun first half. Stay tuned. The All-State halftime comes your way next.
I'm the captain of the Pee Wee football team. We may be small, but we are mighty, annoying. And you are so tired from playing defense against us that your focus is about to ride the bench. Go, go, go. Thanks, Mom.
Bye.
Come on, come on. And if you have cut rate car insurance, then not even a Hail Mary will save you from paying for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me. Awesome.
Then
it is 14-6. Start of the 3rd quarter is just around the corner. The 49ers will get the ball to start this second half, and we'll welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck. That's Troy Aikman. And other than 8 points, what was the difference in that first half that we just witnessed?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty evenly matched game for the most part. The big difference is San Francisco having 2 big plays. They had the 30-yard run by Jeff Wilson for a touchdown, and then Deebo Samuel goes for 57 yards. You take those out of the equation, you know, they're right up there pretty much knotted up. But the Rams have to figure out how they're going to be able to block San Francisco. As I mentioned, the 49ers, D'Amico Ryans has been dialing up the blitz. They've been getting home. There's a lot of things happening up front for the Los Angeles Rams. But for them to have a chance, as much as they need to be able to run the ball, throw the ball, because they're not having much success running the ball, they got to give Stafford some time. Easier said than done.
Ray McLeod is waiting for the kick. Matt Gay hits it, and McLeod will take a knee. Check in with Lisa Salters with Sean McVay from just a moment ago.
Sean, Matthew Stafford was sacked 4 times in that first half. What's been the issue with protection?
Really, it's been mental issues. We've had, 2 missed pickups by our backs, 1 bust on another play, and then the other one they did a good job hitting home on a stunt. So give them credit, self-inflicted wounds. We just got to be able to settle in and clean it up.
2 explosives hurt you on defense. What do you have to shore up there?
Just be able to tackle better. Those are 2 great plays by those guys. But we're capable of more. It's going to be a great second half. We knew it'd be this kind of game.
Thank you, Sean.
8-point game, and now from the 25, Garoppolo ready to roll. He tosses. Wilson got a yard.
Well, that's the part of it for San Francisco. The running the ball for both these teams is going to be a challenge. It always is. It's physical. Kyle Shanahan certainly knows that, but the 49ers have not had really, you take that run by Jeff Wilson out of the equation, they haven't had much success, and so they're having to come at it a little bit differently, and they're having to rely on Jimmy Garoppolo tonight probably a lot more than they had intended.
Daniel Brunskill still at right guard in place of Spencer Burford, the rookie, and this one is caught over the middle, and that is catch and target number 1 for Kittle. 20 yards.
That's his best throw of the night. This is one of those where you just have to be willing to turn it loose, and you're going to see the coverage by Ernest Jones, and you've got to throw it. That ball's coming out of Garoppolo's hand before Kittle clears Ernest Jones, and that happens just a lot of time on the practice field, a lot of time together in games, and those two have a connection similar to what Stafford and Kupp have.
Protection breaks down. Garoppolo stays up, and the pass is broken up. Good play made by Grant Haley as he flashed in front of the tight end Ross Dwelly. 2nd and 10.
Well, the Rams, they come off the edge. So they rush 5. Jalen Ramsey once again in on the blitz, but you see the interior pressure, and just getting this ball out, not taking a sack, was a win for Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners.
Ashawn Robinson had a chance at that sack, couldn't bring him down. We saw no sacks yet for this Rams defense, 4 for the 49ers. Handoff to Wilson, able to lunge to the 49 of the Rams and get 5. Nick Scott credited with the tackle.
I like Jeff Wilson and what he has shown. He's not real flashy, but pretty solid player. Free agent out of North Texas back in 2018, and obviously his opportunities have increased with the injury to Elijah Mitchell. He does a good job. You know, they've certainly, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, they've had a lot of success with a lot of different guys in their backfields toting the football.
Pass underneath to Samuel, and a strong tackle. No gain on the play as Ernest Jones made the stop, and that will bring up 4th down, and Wisnowski comes on for the 49ers.
Yeah, they might have. This would have been close. Kyle Juszczyk right here. He's going to take off right down the middle, and if Jimmy had seen that, you can see Juszczyk the top of the screen after the ball comes out, but Jimmy have been able to see that. And listen, there'll be people who watch it and say that Jimmy should have seen it. You don't always see everything on the field, but had he have caught it, that would have been a touchdown.
Powell stays away, starts to go backward, and that ball is tapped down outside the 15. 31-yard punt. The first possession, second half for the Rams, who trailed by 8.
Half by the 49ers. D'Amico Ryans, as I've talked about, not a big blitz team, but some of the games that they've run that have gotten people home. That time Nick Bosa, just a really well executed stunt up front. And here's Lenore coming off the slot, and Matthew Stafford just doesn't see it. So they've mixed things up. It's not just been a 4-man rush, and when they have brought the 5th guy, they have been able to be effective with it, and they've roughed up Stafford pretty much.
3 of the 4 sacks have come on the blitz. This defense off to a great start. Pass is thrown out to the sideline, and Kupp. 49ers have yet to allow a first-half touchdown for the season. Only team that can say that. And for the 3rd time in the last 4 possessions, the Rams start inside their own 25.
Hey, you got Nick Bosa. He's going to take an inside rush, and he gets pressure on Stafford again. And a lot of times, I can tell you, as a quarterback, it's you know, you count the sacks, and those obviously count for lost yardage and everything else. But for a quarterback in his timing, when you're getting hit and roughed up the way that Stafford is, it throws everything off. It is just as effective, even when you're not getting him to the ground.
2nd and 6. Here's Kupp on this side. The catch, the turn, the first down, and he's out to the 34, where he gets stood up by Hufanga. Charvarius Ward was out there as well, a 12-yard completion.
Well, they stack the receivers, and it allows Kupp to be able to come off the ball in a pretty easy completion. And like we talked about, it's just been him and Tyler Higbee. And Allen Robinson right there in the middle of your screen. He's the guy who he's done some good things. He's had to take on a little bit of a different role, much like Odell Beckham did a year ago. You go from being the guy in Chicago, and then you're a role player to Cooper Kupp.
First down, Stafford, good protection, pass caught. That's Skoranek. He's to midfield. So Ben Skoranek, who's been playing fullback the last couple of weeks, makes the catch and gets 16.
You know, just hearing that sounds funny. Ben Skoranek, great job by him adjusting and catching the football. Yeah, I mean, to be able to make those kinds of plays, and then when you see him, he's 6'3" and 225 pounds. But, you know, Cam Akers can't feel real good when he's his lead blocker from the backfield. I don't know, maybe he does. I don't think so, though.
First down. Henderson carries over the right side, and we've seen a lot more of Darrell Henderson than we have Cam Akers. The last few possessions, he gets 3. Well, Skoranek, it's not just for show. I mean, he's been throwing good blocks. He had one on J.J. Watt in the Arizona game, so he can handle it.
He definitely can.
And he's been able to get open while starting the play in the backfield. And going through the line of scrimmage, here's Higbee. First down, Rams, and just like the first time the Rams had it, when Matthew Stafford started the game 7 for 7, he has yet to throw an incompletion here at the beginning of the second half.
They've kind of gone up tempo a little bit here on this drive as well. They're speeding it up somewhat, starting to put a little bit of pressure on the 49ers, and just based on what we saw there in that first half, I would expect now with the Rams with the ball on the 35-yard line that we'll see some pressure from the 49ers.
Stafford 4 for 4 on this drive. Akers back in there. They fake it to him, looking for Higbee, and overthrown. You know, Cooper Kupp is sensational. The numbers speak for themselves. But the job that Sean McVay does scheming to get him open, I mean, that's the difference maker. And Cooper Kupp, he'd be the first to tell you that.
There's no doubt that there's a lot to it. There's a lot that goes into that as to how do you open up a guy that gets so much attention, and Sean McVay's been able to do it the same way that Kyle Shanahan's been able to do it with Deebo Samuel. I think these two guys are, you know, people say it in every broadcast, I think they're the two best offensive minds in the game.
There's Kupp again, makes the catch, and he's going to be short of the first down as Greenlaw made the tackle, so third down coming up.
Boy, this becomes, you know, it becomes big just because the Rams have struggled to just cash in, and you know they've gotten movement, they've moved the football, and then they get down to this area of the field and they've just failed to sustain the drive and get it in the end zone.
Henderson wide to the top of the screen, third down and 3. Extra men on the rush. Pass is caught, but Robinson is short. First catch, second target. A gain of 2, and it's fourth down.
Well, it's a great route. This is what he does well. He can really create separation in short spaces. This throw just gets away from Stafford. Watch the release that he has on Mosley. And if he's able to catch that without losing his feet, he forces Mosley to make a really difficult catch, and not surprised by the decision of Sean McVay here.
Fourth down and 1, and they go. Akers got it. First down at the 22 for the Rams.
Well, here's a good look at it up front. Pretty good push there on that right side, that before he's even close to getting any contact, he's across the line to gain.
Alaric Jackson, who started the season as a backup, he's now the crafty veteran up on that offensive line, playing right guard. Did a nice job making his second career start there. Quick snap. Stafford in trouble, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1. That'll go down as a sack in the 5th of the night for the 49ers.
That was with a 4-man rush as well. So, D'Amico Ryans, I do think he's done an outstanding job. He did last year as well, taking over for Robert Saleh when he got that head job in New York. And they're playing well tonight.
Stafford off the right hand of Akers, and a flag. A flag in the secondary as Akers was covered by Greenlaw, and this is against San Francisco. We'll see who's guilty.
Illegal contact. Number 54, defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So that was away from where the pass was thrown and called against Fred Warner.
Yeah, I saw it. It looked to me like Kupp had initiated the contact. Fred Warner is playing him. Here he is right here. And, of course, Kupp there, number 10. You're going to see Kupp come off the ball, and Kupp then goes in towards him as much as anything. I don't like the call. What do you think, JP?
He does go into him. Then there's no movement left or right by the defender, which a lot of times the deep official will look for.
So first down and 10 with a ball at the 18. Toss to Akers. Chased by Greenlaw. Good play.
Well, that's the speed of Greenlaw here in the middle. They're going to try to get Coloni up here to block him, the center, but Greenlaw just reads it and he hits it, and he's got no chance. So you got a free rusher on a linebacker taking down Cam Akers. Boy, they missed him last year. He missed a lot of time. He came back for the playoffs, and he's just one of those guys that has tremendous presence on that defensive side of the ball. Real veteran.
12 play of this drive, 2nd and 13. Kupp, a screen, and he's able to pick his way for what looked to be first down yardage, and it is. First down Rams. Got a good block from right tackle Rob Havenstein.
Yeah, he sure did. Everybody. I mean, this is one that you get out quickly, and for the Rams to be able to pick up this first down, I mean, that's really great execution by them. And you're right, Havenstein, the right tackle, he's taken over a little bit of a leadership role with Andrew Whitworth announcing his retirement. Our good buddy now working in our profession on Thursday nights, but Havenstein's the one who propels him for the first down.
Kupp 4 catches on this drive, 1st and goal. Missed throw with Stafford under pressure is behind Higbee, and Greenlaw got back there for the 49ers.
Yeah, that's one I know that Stafford would like to have back. I know that he's under pressure, but this should not have been a hard throw for him. And he drops it down, which we see, and so when you do, he pulls it, and he knows it. Because if he gets it to Higbee there, he probably scores.
Rams have come up empty, getting it into the end zone when they've been inside the 20. It's 2nd and goal. 0 for 2 so far. Here's one for Robinson. Well played by Ward.
That was an outstanding play because it looked like they had it to Robinson. What a good release again by him. Ball gets up early, and Charvarius Ward, he just plays it really well and gets a hand perfectly timed to knock that one down. Big 3rd down.
3rd down and goal. Good protection pass is nearly picked. Gibson had his hands on it. Higbee the target. It's 4th down, and the field goal unit comes on. That was a miss by Stafford.
Yeah, it was, because here's Higbee, and there was nothing that caused Stafford to not put the ball where he wanted to put it. But, man, what an opportunity missed by the 49ers. I mean, they are right there
to make a play, and Gibson just unable to control it.
26-yard field goal try by Gay, who's 3 for 3 tonight. But these long drives keep coming up short inside the 20. 14-9 game. Well, on a beautiful night, this game has been fun. 14-9 is the score, in frustration for the Rams, who on their 3 field goal drives have had the ball for 8 minutes, then 5 minutes, then almost 8 again. But they cannot get it into the end zone and now trail by 5. It's about to kick it back to San Francisco.
Well, I know in talking with Kyle Shanahan, he felt that this would be the biggest test for his defense based on the offenses that they faced in the first 3 weeks. But you know, with the injuries up front for the Rams and the other wide receiver positions, but the 49ers defensively, they keep doing what they've been doing in the first 3 games, just keeping people out of the end zone.
Here's McLeod from just inside the 5, a chance to return it. And the ball comes out. It looked like the 49ers got back on top. But who knows at the bottom of that pile up. And it is San Francisco's ball. Jordan Fuller made the tackle. And it looks like Marlon Mack came away with a football. Let's take a look.
Yeah,
it was Fuller who knocked it out.
Yeah, it was a big hit too, watching it when it in real time, and just got the helmet, right near the ball, shoulder pad, ball comes out. That would have been a game changer.
Garoppolo finds Juszczyk, first of the night. And the big fullback is out of bounds inside the 40. 6-time Pro Bowler, just got 35 on that catch and run.
Well, you can see Juszczyk here and what he does, and then these 2 guys here, they take Ayuk. And so you've got Fuller who jumps. He's the guy who probably should have been playing over the top, and it opens up a big gain then. Another big gain, not a lot of them, but the 49ers have been the ones who have gotten them.
Nice cutback by Wilson. Another offensive line injury in for that down to Lisa Salters.
Hey, Joe, 49ers offensive line, they were already without starting left tackle Trent Williams, and now his replacement, Colton McKivitz, has gone down with a knee injury and is out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Trent Williams, a 9-time Pro Bowler, is just an all-world left tackle and a leader. Colton McKivitz made his 5th career start tonight, and now they're down to Jalen Moore, who really struggled last week in that Sunday night game at Denver when he took over for Williams when he went down in the 3rd quarter.
And it's why they put Kittle to his side over here.
Here's a handoff to Wilson, who's got a first down at the 25.
A nice job up front, but you're right, to follow up on that, Joe, when Jalen Moore is at left tackle, which as you pointed out, he is, when they're having to throw the ball and everybody knows it, they're going to have to give him some help. This is a good design. Kittle does just enough. You got a good push there on that right side.
So we'll keep an eye on 76.
Yeah, so they're giving him help if they elect to throw the ball here.
Here's a toss to Wilson, cuts back and got 9. Jalen Moore came into the game last week, played 7 plays at left tackle, allowed 2 pressures and a sack when Williams went down. So they started this game with McKivitz, and now they're back to Moore, the 2nd-year pro from Western Michigan.
Watch Deebo Samuel. It's not all about him running the ball and catching the football. He gets in there and does the dirty work, and he's not alone. All these guys do, and they do it for the 49ers, the receivers do, and they do it for the Rams. You talk about the pedigree of these 2 coaches and their lineage together. Well, that's a big part of it. Everybody gets involved.
Handoff to Juszczyk. First down as he spins inside the 10. Touching it for the first 2 times on this drive The catch and now a 9-yard carry.
And this time it's Brandon Ayuk who he collapses and he blocks and gives Juszczyk then the edge. And I said Deebo Samuel's my favorite player. A close second is Kyle Juszczyk. I mean, this guy's just fun to watch.
What's happened to you over there?
I don't know.
First and goal from the 8.
What an acquisition he was when they brought him in. He was high on their list when they signed him in 2017 after he left Baltimore.
Quick throw, pass caught. Samuel just lowers his head and spins just short of the end zone as he went right into Bobby Wagner. And he got through Wagner and almost got the touchdown.
It's an Oklahoma drill there. You got one-on-one. Can you punch it in? Bobby Wagner is able to hold him out with a little help. That's good, tough running.
So after the field goal by the Rams, here are the 49ers knocking on the door. Second and goal. Wilson. Wagner. What a play by the 6-time All-Pro Bobby Wagner.
They cover everybody up along the offensive front, and it's what we saw from Dre Greenlaw earlier, that Bobby Wagner, he is then unblocked, and he makes the play that he was brought in to make.
Ninth tackle of the game for Bobby Wagner, and that doesn't include taking out the fan who got on the field. We'll give him 9.5. Fourth quarter rolls in, 5-point game. This is now the 15th game this week that's within one score in the fourth quarter, the most in a single week in NFL history. Every game this weekend except last night's game in Tampa in that category. It's a 5-point game, third down and goal. Play action, Garoppolo, end zone, pass is caught for the touchdown, Kittle.
It's going to be close as to whether or not Kittle gets both feet down. There's one, and the second one is out. That one's coming back. That was an amazing throw by Jimmy Garoppolo. The way that he was able to lay it out there for Kittle. But yeah, 1, 2's on the line.
So then it would be fourth and goal.
Decision
from
time.
About the 2.
The pass is incomplete.
They do that expedited review, clearly out. And we'll see what the decision is now on fourth and goal from Kyle Shanahan.
Well, I thought the call in itself, because I thought that Kyle Shanahan would be thinking 4-down territory. I thought they might run it and then see if they pick it up or what kind of yardage they might get. They do play action.
For those wondering, the analytics department would say go for it here. You're leading by 5. The ball is inside the 2. Fourth down and goal, but as you see, Robbie Gould is out there for San Francisco.
I don't disagree with this decision. If you make it and you go up 8, and the way that the touchdowns in a lot of ways is a knockout punch, because unless the Rams just do something they haven't shown an ability to do, they haven't been able to get any big plays and have had a hard time punching anything in. But 8 points with the way their defense is playing, I don't argue with this decision at all.
Delay a game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
So they will back Robbie Gould up. And the ball will be sitting just inside the 7 to make it a 25-yard try. Gould knocks it through. And the lead is back to 8, 17-9. Fourth quarter on a Monday night in Santa Clara. Chiefs so good last night in their win against Tampa Bay. And the Raiders coming off their first win after 3 excruciating losses to start the year.
It's always great to go do a game, especially on prime time there at Arrowhead. That'll be a great scene.
Certainly a different look offensively, really, for both teams coming in. Here is a fake throw across by Powell. They had Jalen Ramsey, who was ready to take that throw if Powell let it fly, but he doesn't, and it's a 16-yard return. Week 4 news and notes. The Eagles they're not just undefeated, but they look phenomenal. And that starts with Jalen Hurts. Javonte Williams, terrible news. Tore his ACL and LCL at the Raiders. He's out for the rest of the year, and Mahomes was awesome. As we just basically expect.
Yeah, but you're right. The Eagles, everybody thought they'd be good. I think they're the surprise right now. Not a big surprise, but just they have looked dominant.
Nice play in the backfield as Akers is knocked down by Givens. A loss of 2.
Yeah, so right now, looking at this game, the difference, as we said at halftime, has been the big plays that the 49ers have been able to get. The Rams, they've yet to even get a 20-yard play. So you just to score points, it is hard, and it's been proven here by the Rams to just march the ball down the field and punch it in the end zone. You need big chunks, and there's our guy Ben Skoranek. The game plan changes a little bit if he's not able to come back and play, because he has been a versatile part of what they're doing. But that was a problem over the first 3 games as we take a look at whatever might have happened to him at the end of this. Doesn't look like much, but anyway, the Rams last year were 3rd in the NFL in big pass plays, and they have not had those this year for all the reasons that we've already laid out, and they haven't gotten any tonight, and it's made things really hard on them.
2nd and 12. Here's Henderson. Not much out there as Warner crashes down and makes the stop, a gain of just 2. And everything's just right around the line of scrimmage. Not much down the field, as you talk about. Not able to stretch this defense. It's now 3rd and 10.
Yeah, they're getting them to the line and trying to keep the 49ers from being able to really set up with a defensive scheme. Here they come.
Backpedaling and incomplete for Kupp. Deommodore Lenoir, who, as Troy said, is new to that nickel spot, was out there defending, and he's another weapon in the secondary for D'Amico Ryans.
Well, you got Lenoir, but you also have the safety who's working to his way. So you can see how much field there is for everyone else, and yet nobody else wins. And so even Stafford, he's a veteran quarterback. He sees the safety leave the field. He knows he has opportunity elsewhere, but his trust and confidence, and rightfully so, is with number 10.
Good punt here. McLeod on the return. Still going. And it was the punter Riley Dixon who made the stop, as McLeod almost broke it. 22-yard return after a 56-yard punt, and Dixon, the punter, might have saved points. Replay brought to you by Taco Bell. 3rd and 3, and Jimmy G looks for number 19.
Yeah, pass that's high, fortunately for Jimmy Garoppolo, but look at all of the missed tackles. And coming into this game, the Rams, through 3 games, were one of the best tackling defenses in all of football, but boy, too many missed tackles there, and it crushed them. Another big play that obviously resulted in a touchdown for the 49ers.
57 yards. Here's Wilson, and Jeff Wilson gets 3 over the left side. Meanwhile, a moment ago on the sideline for the Rams, something that Sean McVay won't like seeing, and that is Takk McKinley, who was just added to the roster, getting into it with linebacker Justin Hollins, and those two had to be separated.
Yeah, and I know that emotions run hot. on sidelines, and I've been a part of some of those heated discussions when I was a player. But when you see that, the way that unfolded, that is not what you want to see. And this is a team, obviously, with high expectations, and they know on both sides of the ball they just haven't met their standards.
Toss to Samuel, and Debo takes it into Rams territory, but a flag is down. We have had few of those in the game.
Yeah, I was just going to say we haven't had a lot of stoppages tonight with penalties.
Total of 4.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
So against the center, and that'll move the 49ers back 10.
Yeah, Jake Brendel, guy who's played pretty well for the 49ers. He's got his right hand. You see it right there. It was a good call.
Taking over for Alex Mack, who retired in June at the age of 36. A tremendous player. Pro Bowler last year. He went out playing great football. Here is Kittle. And Kittle is knocked down by Grant Haley. A gain of 4 to bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, 3rd and long here for Jimmy Garoppolo. I would think that Kyle Shanahan, as we know, Garoppolo can play great, get into a streak, and then just make a throw where you just kind of left a little bit dazed and confused. And I would imagine Kyle Shanahan is going to protect the quarterback from himself and be a little conservative here.
All right, all right, all right. 3rd down and 13, and Samuel out on the edge. Conservative throw,
oh, man.
And a 1st down to the 29. Kittle threw a great block and 29 yards to Debo Samuel.
Well, we saw the Rams do it with Kupp in the previous possession on 3rd and long. Now the 49ers, I mean, they're just hoping, you call play that you think gives you a chance to pick up that kind of yardage. Got a little scrum going down there on the field. And then he ends up just splitting it and picking up the 1st down. So great execution. You talked about it to come into this game, Joe. This isn't a surprise to either one of these fan bases. They just don't like each other, and there's a lot at stake. There's Ayuk and Ramsey going at it. Ramsey took exception that Ayuk wouldn't let go of his jersey, so he grabbed a hold of his face gear. And off they went. But, we believe both these teams are going to be in the postseason, and so this has a lot of significance, even though it's early in the year.
Here's Wilson on the right side. Donald makes the play. Loss of 1. That is 5 plays tonight by the Rams of 20 or more yards. And they've had the 2 big ones on 3rd down. That one on 3rd and long to Debo Samuel. Here's Aaron Donald doing what he does.
Yes, Spencer Buford, he's the one tasked to try to handle number 99 by himself. It's interesting. Nobody gets double teamed more than Aaron Donald in the last 3 years, and no one has made more plays than Aaron Donald over the last 3 years.
2nd and 11, and Garoppolo and Kittle not on the same page. So 3rd down.
Well, I think if you look at Garoppolo's numbers in this game, he's 15 of 26. 230 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, and I think that's the big thing. But I don't think the numbers tell the story for him. I think he's been pretty good, especially with the way he played last week and how much pressure was on him in a divisional game to play well tonight.
49ers are inside field goal range. Ayuk out on the edge, gets some more yardage. Will bring up 4th down as he's able to take it inside the 25, and Jalen Ramsey, who got into it with Ayuk a moment ago, was there for the tackle.
Well, the big play, of course, was the 3rd and long to Deebo Samuel. And he's able to pick up that first down, which kept this drive alive. Jalen Ramsey, he definitely is a physical player. He's impressive. And there's what should have been a face mask. But for the 49ers to have an opportunity to get 3 points, this is big 3 points if they hit it to extend it to a 2-possession game.
They do not, as Robbie Gould pulls it wide left, and this stays an 8-point game.
Yeah, that's a huge miss by Robbie Gould.
42-yard try is no good. Good snap, good hold on a windy night in Santa Clara. This one wide left. McVay loves it. His team down 8, about to get it back. Certainly not a lot of love between these two sides. A lot of respect, but not a lot of love. And we saw that flare up a moment ago with Ramsey and Ayuk. Now back on offense of the Rams, down 8. 8.5 to go. Henderson over the right side, able to get 2.
Well, those yards have just been hard to come by on the ground. This 49ers defense came into the league, or came into this game 3rd in the NFL, holding opponents to less than 3 yards a rush.
Stafford completes and a first down. Nice throw and catch by Higbee. A gain of 10. By the way, for the 49ers, Eric Armstead is back out with a foot injury. He's been dealing with plantar fasciitis in his right foot. He was iffy during the week, and we're told he is out for the rest of the night, watching with the rest of us. First down, LA.
Yeah, so they came into the game without Kinlaw. And now Eric Armstead, who missed last week's game, he's out of the lineup. 2 pretty significant players in the middle of that defense out.
Stafford, Higbee, a nice gain on first down. Forced out right at midfield, maybe just inside San Francisco territory. Gain of 5. Cup, first down. Perfect throw, put it right on his hip. A gain of 7.
Cooper Kupp slow coming off the ball there, and Matthew Stafford looks like he's going to throw the ball to the front side, but he's coming back to Kupp all the way. You see how he just slows it down. They're playing inside and out on him. They got Lenore, and then Greenlaw is looking him up. But because of the way he came off the ball, it still created that window for the completion.
Another 100 yards against the 49ers again for Cooper Kupp. This one is juggled, picked. There goes Hufanga. Hufanga, touchdown, San Francisco. Pick 6.
Well, here's Hufanga right here in the middle, and you're going to see with this release, then Hufanga is expecting that quick throw. So he rides it. He sees the release by the receiver he's on, Higbee, and then he's anticipating the quick throw. He reads it. House call.
And the extra point is good, and this is now 24-9. 15-point game. Talanoa Hufanga, second-year pro from USC, becoming a force in the NFL. Opens it up for the 49ers. The Rams did not throw any fourth-quarter interceptions last year. He's thrown 3 already this season, no touchdowns thrown. But he's looking for somebody to break loose other than Cooper Kupp and Talanoa Hufanga, who was a steal in the 5th round out of USC, is becoming a star. Took it 52 yards for the score.
We're going to be talking about him for a long time. He reminds me so much of Troy Polamalu, also out of USC. But Hufanga is a playmaker, and he's around the line of scrimmage is where he is best. And I think he's got a future that is going to impress a lot of people.
Here's Powell on the return out across the 25. Ball comes out, but he was clearly down. Let's look at the 49ers defense that is really humming right now under DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah, it really is. You see some of these blitzes that they brought early in this game, and they were able to get home, but they just continue to rush Stafford up. But the problem has been they've not been able to get the ball down the field. And so you keep throwing those quick passes, and eventually you're going to have something like that happen, and DeMeco Ryans is loving it. But you look at what's happened up to this point. Cooper Kupp has been targeted 17 times, Tyler Higbee 11 times, and really no one else has gotten much action at all.
There is Robinson, a guy the Rams are waiting on to get into the fun. Makes the catch and gets 5. And the Rams now down 15 have 3 timeouts and will be under 6 minutes by the time this next play ends. Stafford, Higbee trying to get the first down. We'll see where they put it, a yard short.
Well, you saw that enthusiasm from DeMeco Ryans, and I always respected him when he played and love what he's done as a defensive coordinator. He's a young guy. He only interviewed for one head job last year, and he's 38 years old. But I really do believe that his demeanor and makeup, that he's going to be a head coach in this league real soon.
Yeah, he's got that feel, and he said he was actually kind of relieved he didn't get that gig with the Vikings. Here is Henderson for a first down. He said, I just wanted at least one more year to really be ready for when I get that chance. And some organization's going to be lucky to get DeMeco Ryans. And about that strong safety, Hufanga, you mentioned Polamalu. He worked out and studied with Troy Polamalu before the draft last year as Stafford throws it away. And Ronnie Lott, who we've talked about a couple of times, said on a local radio station, the kid is phenomenal. What I love is the timing and the anticipation and the feel. Here's a guy that looks like he's moving faster than everyone else. And what I mean by that is his anticipation of understanding the moment. And he just showed that on that interception, stepping in front of Cooper Kupp.
I remember watching some film last year before one of our 49ers games, and he just kept showing up, and I had to look, who is this rookie that's all over the field? He's like Tasmanian devil.
2nd and 10, and the pass is caught by Blanton, who has been re-added to the active roster off the practice squad of the Kansas City Chiefs, a gain of 7. Was with them and a part of their Super Bowl run, then was cut in the summer. And he's back as Bryson Hopkins is suspended.
Sorry, Joe. A little surprised to see the Rams huddle. You saw Stafford say, hey, come back, huddle up. I mean, obviously, time is of the essence, and I would have expected them to go hurry up immediately.
Rams are 2 for their last 10 on 3rd down. This one for Skoranek. And he's got a first down inside the 40 as the Rams look for a glimmer of hope. A gain of 17.
Well, Skoranek does the right thing there. The official has to handle it. We learned all that from the Cowboys last year against the 49ers in the playoff game. But Skoranek runs it back, puts the ball down, save a few seconds.
First down, Stafford. This one is tipped and incomplete for Henderson. Tipped by the rookie Drake Jackson. And we know he can get up. He is a big man, 6'4", 273, and a tremendous athlete. Does full-on backflips and you name it. It's stunning.
I halfway expect to see him do one of those backflips in one of these games, as much as I saw of him coming into this game. But he's kind of learning his way. It's not easy on a lot of these guys coming in as pass rushers to have success immediately.
Got his first sack at Denver last week. Stafford in trouble and sacked. Brought down by Hassan Ridgeway. Sixth sack of the night by the 49ers defense, a loss of 8.
Yeah, nice time twist up front, and Ridgeway able to win the one-on-one battle.
Stafford now underneath to Higbee on 3rd down and 18. Let's get some of that yardage back. It'll be 4th down and long, and the Rams have to go for it.
Yeah, Hassan Ridgeway, he just came out of the game as they bring in Kevin Givens. Ridgeway is going to be over there high-fiving some teammates after that play that he just made.
8 yards to Higbee, 4th down and 10. That's Kupp. And this play is shut down before the snap as the Rams use a timeout. That's their first timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, and it's a 15-point game. This defense for D'Amico Ryans, I mean, they're better on the back end than they were a year ago by adding Charvarius Ward. Another year of experience for Hufanga. But the strength of this defense is the front 7. They are outstanding. They've got some injuries. They're working their way through them. But when they're all healthy, it's as good as there is in the league.
I agree. They are sound. They play physical. They fly to the football. They tackle well. They're well coached. They got playmakers at every level. A lot to like.
6 sacks by 5 different players. Bosa has 2. 4th down and 10. Stafford, good job to step up, and he's able to complete to Cooper Kupp. And a conversion on 4th down and 10 to stay alive.
Well, the game up front with Bosa is what ultimately allowed Stafford to find a little lane, keep this drive going.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning, Stafford, end zone, Robinson, incomplete with 2:02 left. And Emmanuel Mosley was right there on Allen Robinson.
Yeah, good idea by Matthew Stafford, just giving Robinson a chance, put it up to where maybe he can go up and make a play on it.
Second down and 10. Stafford underneath, nearly picked by Warner as he was looking for Higbee. And we're at the 2-minute warning with 1:58, and Warner was thinking about another pick 6. Instead, he comes up empty. Be thinking about that when he goes to bed tonight. 1:58 left. 49ers up 15. All right, Scott, thanks. Be chatting with you shortly. Meanwhile, the 49ers, who have won 6 straight regular season games against the Rams, in their last 3 here in Santa Clara, lead by 15. 3rd down and 10 for Sean McVay's team. It's been outplayed by D'Amico Ryans' defense.
Well, they had Darrell Henderson down at the bottom. Nobody went with him.
Pressure. Ball was hit and nearly picked by Greenlaw. Ebukam got his hand on the ball, and then it fell to the turf. And if they're going to say it's a fumble, which they are right now, and they'll obviously look at it,
by the defense,
then it's 49ers ball, and that will basically end all hope for the Rams. Let's take another look. And the question is, fumble or throw, and this is a fumble. That ball came out. John Perry.
Clearly out before the hand goes forward. Got to change of possession.
So a good call on the field. The ball is out, and then off Ebukam. A fumble recovered by the 49ers, and San Francisco brings their offense back out in what's been a really impressive night for Kyle Shanahan's team.
Yes, it has, and D'Amico Ryan's defense. And like we said, these are games that you expect to have playoff implications when you get into December. Advantage San Francisco.
Take a break, come back. 49ers ball up 15. Lions, who were with the Rams tonight, an interception returned for a touchdown. 52 yards by Hufanga, and now a fumble. It was verified through replay. 49ers start at their 16. Rams have just 2 timeouts left, and a handoff to Wilson. Tackle made by Floyd.
You know, this is the point in the game where when a certain analyst years ago would start singing, "Turn out the lights, the party's over."
Very nice. We'll be back in 15 seconds after this from Truly Hard Seltzer.
Seriously, like have you seen my silhouette? Sheesh, it's giving me character energy. Like grab the bags and start to fade.
Our best flavors just got better. Truly Hard Seltzer.
49ers tonight trying to be the only team to hold Sean McVay's Rams under 10 points twice. They did it back in 2019. Week 6 and a 20-7 San Francisco win, and tonight 3 field goals. That's it.
That's it in a short week leading up to next Sunday when they host Dallas. So they have another tough one coming up against a really talented defense. They've got to figure out that offensive line. They've got to figure out how they're going to get the ball into other people's hands besides Cooper Kupp. And Sean McVay, if anyone can do it, he can. But that's a big task on a short week.
Here's the upcoming schedule after that game against the Cowboys. The Panthers, the bye week 7, and the 49ers after the bye, and at the Bucs, who are currently 2-2. Rams spend their last time out. This could be only the 4th time under Sean McVay that the Rams don't score a touchdown in a game. And by the way, the first time in 15 years that the Rams don't have a 20-yard play on offense. So this is a much different looking team than the one that lit up scoreboards last year, at least here at the start. 10 is doing all he can.
Yes, he is. And, you know, I mentioned it coming into this game. The Rams went through a period last year where they just weren't in sync. They struggled. Every team has that. And then you just remember the great year they had winning the Super Bowl. But this struggle this year feels different because they are so beat up in the offensive front and because they don't have Van Jefferson. And, you know, the hope is that when he comes off IR that he'll be able to contribute, and they hope that they're able to get Odell Beckham at some point, roughly around week 10, if he decides to come play for the Rams again. But there's a lot of things that have to fall into place, and they can, for them to get back to the promised land, which is where Aaron Donald wants to be, and that's why he came back.
3rd down and 10, and the handoff to Wilson brought down by Donald. No timeouts left for the Rams, so the clock will continue to run, and the punt team will come on for the 49ers.
Well, I mentioned it, Joe, that Jimmy Garoppolo, no one's going to just look at the stat line and say, oh, he played great. I'm not saying he played great, but I know how that is when you go through a tough week and people are questioning you and your decisions and all that goes with that as a quarterback in the National Football League. And then to be playing a big divisional rival and how difficult that can be, I thought he did a lot of really good things.
He's about to go to 7-0 in the regular season against the Rams in his time with the 49ers. Meanwhile, a 49ers win tonight means that every team in the NFC West is 2-2. And with regard to Odell Beckham Jr., Sean McVay told us And he's dying to get him back. You said week 10 or 11 he should be ready, but we have to stay in it and be relevant so that he wants to come back to the Rams. So he will have his pick at some point when he's ready to go coming off the ACL. And McVay wants it to be right back, slide right back into his old locker, which, as you said, they've kept around for him.
Yeah, keep it a spot for him.
Wisnowski hits it end over end and knocks it out of bounds. Let's go down to Lisa.
Hey, Joe, well, Odell Beckham is in the Bahamas right now, rehabbing his way back from that torn ACL. He said he's doing two-a-days, taking his time, making sure to get the knee right. I asked him if he was eyeing a return date, even a ballpark. He gave me nothing, said he'll be back when the time is right. He said he's been watching the Rams. The Rams are like family to him. He misses being in the locker room. I told him, they say they really want you back. And he said there's definitely love on both sides, no doubt. But he said everyone knows this is a business as well. They know what I want. They know how I feel. But, of course, he said, if I had my way, I'd love to be back with those guys.
Yep, as you said, feelings mutual. We'll see. Time will tell. Got a long time till then. Here's Cooper Kupp with a new career high. Man, is he going to be sore after this game. 14 catches in the game is a new single game high for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I mean, 19 targets.
Second and 1. Bosa coming off the edge. Stafford stays alive and gets it to Henderson for a first down. What a good play by Matthew Stafford in this 15-point affair with now just 16 seconds left.
Well, 15-point affair, and if you're Sean McVay, that's the last thing you want to see is Matthew Stafford taking that kind of punishment in a futile effort.
Stafford, by the way, has taken now 16 sacks this season, one shy of Carson Wentz, the Washington Commanders, for the league high. 7 sacks by the Bills, 1 in each of the last 2 games, and tonight's 7. Here's Henderson. And that is going to do it for this one, as the 49ers are going to win it 24-9 in a dominant effort on both sides of the ball. And Sean McVay has to cross the field and shake the hand of Kyle Shanahan, who has beaten him now 7 straight times in the regular season. And Garoppolo has been at the controls for all 7. So all 4 teams in the NFC West are now 2-2. And another good game on a Monday night. This one goes the way of the 49ers, and they really won. On offense, on defense. Impressive night by D'Amico Ryan's group and by the offense put together by Kyle Shanahan. His quarterback is standing by with Lisa Salters. Lisa.
Thanks, Joe. Jimmy, how's that arm feeling tonight?
It's sore, but it feels a lot better than it did last week, that's for sure.
Yeah, just overall, what felt better in this one? Just your second of the season.
I don't know, man. The fans brought it tonight. It was a hell of an atmosphere out here. It always gets us going, and I don't know. It's just these games against the Rams are always a dogfight. We know that coming into it, and it was no different tonight.
Deebo Samuel had 100 yards after the catch tonight. What's it like getting the ball to him and just watching him run?
It's unbelievable. We're getting the Yak Bros back, that's for sure. Deebo, once you get the ball in his hands, I mean, he's unbelievable. He makes those plays look so easy, and they're not. And so I love having a guy like that.
What impressed you about your defense tonight?
Everything. Big plays, stepping up on 3rd down. I thought they did really good, and I didn't get to see all of it, but that D-line was getting after him tonight.
And how odd is it for you? You said your goodbyes, and here you are right back here under center doing it all over again.
Yeah, I don't know. Just you got to roll with the punches sometimes, and things fall into place, and just got to take advantage of your opportunities.
Congrats on the win. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it, Lisa.
Joe.
All right, Lisa, thanks. The 49ers defense with 7 sacks. They didn't allow a sack, by the way, tonight by the Rams D. 49ers defense did not allow a touchdown, and on offense they got big play touchdowns from Wilson and Samuel. An impressive night all the way around for the 49ers, who are now 2-2. Next week, don't miss our Week 5 matchup between the Raiders and the Chiefs from Kansas City. This has been a presentation of Monday Night Football on ESPN. And we say so long from Santa Clara. Time now, we'll send it to SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt.